Nightmare Alley is a movie that celebrates cinematic style, and we wanted it to feel real. It was a monumental endeavor.
The first thing Guillermo said is, we are not making a film noir film. We're doing a contemporary version of that, a Guillermo del Toro version of that, which has its own kind of visual range.
And action!
Every Guillermo set that I've worked on is very Baroque because his worlds are very Gothic. You know, they're like made-up worlds. Worlds of fairies and witches and vampires and stuff. This one is very grounded in reality.
For him as a filmmaker, it's a new vision for him, a more mature vision of the world. I think he's just exploring some different parts of his psyche with us as his audience.
We're trying to get some of the cues of the movie from American realism. The idea of modern America that tries to reconcile the pastoral origins of the country with urban and modern living. We went into researching a lot.
The research on this was very much twofold because there's two very different looks in the movie. There's the carnival of the late 1930s, and there's the whole Art Deco realm of Buffalo in the early 40s, which is glitzy and glamorous and a very different look.
Tamara had so many sets that looked real but were constructed, some of them enormous.
The carnival was built outside of Toronto at a fairground. They just built it. You'd go there, and when you'd shoot at night, it was so beautiful with the extras and period costumes, you know, it was fantastic.
One of the decisions was, let's build the carnival on location so we can be affected by the wetness, by the wind. When you are inside a tent and you're outside, the tent breathes like a giant lung. If you build it on stage, it becomes like a cartoon. We rigged the earth underneath the carnival with thousands of feet of line that steamed through the ground, so the atmosphere would have steam all the time. We always kept it muddy and with hay, with texture. We went after every detail.
We had a lot of moving parts. We have a lot of banners. Fantastic designer, Andy Sang, who's basically done all the banners you see in the carnival. I mean, the banners, to me, tell the story, very much so in terms of the colors.
In the carnival, you have all these colors. You have really beautiful pale blues, reds, golds, every color.
It's one area that we just used all the colors for our main carnival. Like, we just kind of exploded with color and then aged everything down so that it had this Del Toro kind of feel to it.
The funhouse, actually what we wanted was to create a funhouse that was about religion. So hell and sin and salvation were that dynamic. The barrel is, of course, real. The eye opening was a real eye on carnivals. The devil's mouth, not so much. But I really wanted this idea of transiting through purgatory and the mirrors and all that.
The set is magnificent, where there's just enough glamour and glitz to kind of like get the rubes to kind of throw down their dime. It's damaged goods, as are the people in it. It's brilliantly executed.
And action! Good, perfect.
We have found pristine locations in and around Toronto and Buffalo that seem to be time capsules of what it was to live in at the end of the 1930s, beginning of the 40s. And the locations and the sets needed to blend seamlessly.
The look of Buffalo, which is really known for its Art Deco look, was really influential in the whole look of the movie. There's a visual code that he has. There's certain repetition of shapes like circles.
The shapes that accompany you from the beginning to the end is the circles. Is the Ferris wheel, the arena, the viewing window in the cabaret. The cabaret itself is two big circles. The circles on the floor and the lamps that are circular in the lobby of Grindel. Stan is always heading for that circle. The one design clearly that felt like the center, like the linchpin of what the movie was Lilith's office. It was elegant but cold. There was a sense of menace to it.
When you look at the sets, there's no need to suspend disbelief when you walk on set because it's all there. I mean, down to the ceilings, every single detail has been really well thought through. I mean, when I first walked into Lilith's office, the room is a character in and of itself. And Tamara Deverell's production design is extraordinary. The wood paneling was like a Rorschach test in and of itself. Every single ornament, you know, the desk, the way the recording devices were hidden, that was fantastic.
You got a smoother line, but you run a racket, same as me.
Is that what this is?
To create Lilith's world, the bulk of it is in this office set that we built. So it's very much trying to make a powerful woman who's glamorous and make this office almost like glowing around her. It was full of wood and warmth and shine, but it was still this geometric kind of configuration that exemplified everything that was her character in terms of strength and power, female power in particular.
You barely know me.
And I knew that that was the set that I needed to do what I call the reveal. In every movie I do, there is a set that gets the reveal. This is what declares a certain aspect of the reality of the movie coming to play. And this moment was needed because you were saying, this is the world that is different from the carnival.
We're at war.
I'm aware.
And that shot is not just to show how great the set is, but it tells you everything you need to know about the character. This is an incredibly powerful, sophisticated, elegant, but threatening space.
I always think, you know, there's bodies in them walls. And a Guillermo del Toro film, there probably usually is.
What is in Guillermo's head in terms of movies and the library of visual references is beyond anybody's imagination, I think. For a production designer, any production designer, to work with a director like him, there's just no comparison. It's a different world.